Good. Welcome back to Reborn as a Vending Machine. Anime Review, episode number 13. We're reviewing the 19th episode of the series, and also this one, we have 5 more to go. You're like, that's interesting. Yes. So, it's 19th episode series, The Animals and the Girl. We begin where we left off last episode, where everybody's been separated except for Boxo, Hillamy, and Director Bear. Where they arrive at some stratum. Apparently, they arrive at a labyrinth stratum, where they apparently don't notice the fact that Boxo was there. Boxo was very polite to move out of the way. Of course, they're worried about Llamas, obviously. And then, of course, he chimes up and says, "What about me?" Well, Hillary can't carry Boxo because he weighs a frickin' ton. Because, you know, he's a vending machine. Director Bear ends up being the one carrying him because he's a bear. Of course bears can carry stuff like this. So he carries him for a while, and then Hillary goes off to her own thing, and then, of course, they go in the labyrinth. Which, fun fact, this actually was the same labyrinth that Boxo first landed in back in episode 1 of the show. You're like, that is interesting. Yes, no, Boxo. I also was where I landed here. Awesome. So, they're going, of course, Box decides to shrink down to a size of a cardboard box for himself. And then, just by sheer coincidence, they come across a young girl. Yes, a young girl. Which they suspect might be a snow woman. Well, actually, more like a snow child. Yeah, that's who they suspect in this episode. Her name is Kikyo. They do not have a credited voice actor for her. And she also has Botan and Kura. I think correctly. I think Botan is the crow. And she also mentions the sentient field, who is like Boxo, is basically a giant field who apparently was get this, a human reincarnated as a frickin' field. I'm like, really? Okay, so Botan is that is the rhino, and Kara is basically the crow. Now, it's very interesting to set up the character Field. I did not suspect, basically, they would Now, as for the girl Kikyo, they have not have a credited voice actor for her yet. She apparently is a snow child, but they don't have a credited voice actor for her yet. So, of course, they suspect she's a snow child because apparently she's older than she looks. So, apparently, Boxon's attracted to her for some reason. I think she's a child. So, basically, there's a whole thing of like, oh, competing for food. So, Field can grow any vegetable they can he or she can imagine. And, of course, they give the Field's origin story, where apparently this old lady tilted this field, which turned out to be a human soul reincarnated into a field. And I thought the series is weird enough by having a talking vending machine. Now we have a field with a human soul, which apparently might be gone. Interesting. Also, she can touch Boxo and hear his thoughts. I wonder if she can actually, touch him and write down stuff that he would think, like, write down how much he loves Lammas. Or Hillamy. He is in love with both of them. Because, of course, this is the episode. Now, as a viewer, I've noticed since episode 1 that he was reincarnated. This is the first time Director Bear has found out about this little factoid about Bach, so he was also from another world. Interesting. And of course, they can exit the maze because of the field thing, because SS is a monster. So then, of course, Boxer decides to use the barrier to disrupt the barrier of the labyrinth, which allows Kyoko to exit with the plant. But they go back in the thing anyways. They cook some food, and it's like, oh, let's check back to Bear with basically fish because bears love fish. I thought that was kind of funny. And then the episode ends in the most shocking way possible. So it's basically about a labyrinth golem to get his magic stone to operate the circle. Well, then all of a sudden the sky opens up and here comes Lammas with a freaking parachute. Yes, a parachute. Now, they don't identify it as a parachute, but the way it looks, yeah, it's a parachute. Also, boxes being in the cardboard for being carried by the crow. And of course, reunited. Of course, everybody's angry, but the reckless stuff she did. But overall, real with Lammas. But that begs the question: what about the rest of the party? Apparently she went to the Clear Lake strata, which is where she lives. Interesting. But overall, really good episode. And I have 5 more to go. I did check on Horizon Should Hero. Apparently it was not released today because I looked it up and nope, not there. So I will check tomorrow about that. But next up is going to be the 7 Prince anime. Okay? So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Okay? Bye.